I'm a professional streamer.
This improv story's based on the idea man really has to shit let the story commence. Craig said, I'm really sorry. I have to go to the toilet for a wee moment. You're not going anywhere. The client's just coming. It was an important business meeting. It was a presentation, or as they say in America, a presentation. This was not leisure time, as they say in America. This was during work hours. This was not leisure time. So Craig went, I think I should go before the clients come, just because, no, you can go later. Right, it's just that, okay, it doesn't, all right then, I'll hold it in. He was sitting down, he thought, okay, I'm sitting on it. When you're sitting on it, it keeps the shite in. The clients came, hi there, hi. And he stood up and shook, and he went like that. And one of the clients went like, what was that? And Craig went, and luckily he managed to move his seat in a way that did the same sort of thing. He also had trainers on, and it was a wooden floor, like kind of laminate, and he managed to sort of twist his trainer against it to make a squeak sound, so that they got the idea that, was that the seat? Was that the foot? What was it? But Craig didn't go like that. That sound, oh, it was that. He didn't say it, he just kind of ignored it as if he didn't hear it. As if he didn't hear what they said. I sat down, and honestly, there was a smell of shite. See, because he was needing a shite. It was like, basically, there was a shite in the in the chamber. There was a shite in the chamber. The shite was in the chamber. It wasn't like in the magazine. It wasn't like inside the guts. It was in the chamber. It was locked, cocked and loaded. It was what is it again? Locked and loaded. Right. It was in the chamber. It was in the chamber. So these farts were having to pass right past the shite. So it was quite a shitey fart. It didn't smell like a fart. It just smelled like somebody had a tub of shite and went like that. And he shut it. Do you know what I mean? And he was like, "Oh fuck, oh no." But he thought, carry on as if you've not noticed anything. So just like, okay, there you go. That's for you. That's you there. And he noticed one of the clients go like that. And then Craig didn't react, right? But he waited until we saw one of the clients sort of look towards him, and then Craig, pretending that he didn't know he was being watched, as if it was then a moment to himself. He didn't want to look like he was acting. Did this as he's putting things out like that. Kind of, so if anybody was looking at him, he would look like he also thought it was stinking. Was it doing a performance? Because then it would look like you were acting like this. What's that? What's that smell? I'm not responsible for that. He did it as if he didn't realise he was being watched. You know what I mean? Very, very clever. Anyway, it went away. And they had this telly, big telly on the wall. And Craig said, so, and the boss, John, went like that. Craig went like that. On you go, you know. Craig knows more about this than I do. I've got a few. I've been a wee bit ill recently. I've been reading a bit. Craig's on it. Craig, take it away. So, okay. Well, first of all, thanks for coming in. First, I think the main question that I was trying to answer was, you want to know how you can get. You said you had 100,000 per month, and could you get that up to 500,000 or a million or so? And there was a few ways of doing it within the app, but we're thinking about maybe we've got some. Want to propose some extra things you can do to do that rather than just do it within the app. And John went, Craig, do you want to stand up? Yep. Do you want me? Do you want me to stand up? It's up to you. John went, on you go. Just so you can go up and point to the screen. All right. Okay. So I can just point with the mouse. I can just point with the mouse. On you go. Go up. Kind of like a. John went like a bit like a weathered girl. Bit like a weathered girl. Up you go, Craig. He's a bit embarrassed because he probably feels like a weather girl. John was a wee bit old school. So Craig went up, stood up, and John went like that. And Craig was like, I'm fucking glad he did that. I'm glad he did that because he's going to look bad for doing that. He's going to look bad for doing that. But all the clients were like, the reason why he wanted John to look bad, his boss to look bad, was because he wanted to be able to argue against John regarding this decision to make him stand. He wanted to discredit him. But obviously that's fucked up. So, and he could feel now he didn't have the pressure of a seat on his arse to hold the shite in. And Craig went like, he felt a kind of build up of gas in him. And he was like, it was starting to hurt. He didn't realise how much he'd been holding it in until he stood up. So we think it is possible to get upwards of 100,000 with the app you've currently got. But we're thinking maybe it's best to get some other avenues in to this, some other kind of revenue streams and other ways to get yourself attention. Another app, website, and also other social media things like TikTok and Instagram and Twitter and so on. John went, Craig, put some life into it. Sorry, just in case, just to clarify here, I said I was ill. It's not Craig that's ill, although he is come across that way. Craig, put some life into it, man. And the clients went like that. Sorry, I think I had some bad food last night, just feeling a bit. I'm fine. And it just went like that. And and Craig went like that, kind of moved his foot, no squeak, no seat. He was standing up. And Craig went, right, the whole thing's fucked now. The whole thing is fucked. Like everything. Everything. Like your whole life. Your whole life. You see, as I've said before, we are social animals. A lot of our evolution has been based on sociability, not so much survival through strength and teeth and claws, but through our mind and being able to live together with other people and learn from other people and sort of exchange things and communicate and things like that. We've turned into almost like walking brains rather than, claws and teeth and brute fucking force. So see, when you're fucked socially, you may as well be fucked physically. You may as well have just had a fucking sword right through you. You're fucked. It's over. You're mortally wounded. Mortally wounded. It's over. You'll never live that down. And how'd you get out of the situation right now? And Craig went, oh well, in for a penny, in for a pound. I've got one in the chamber. And the clients were like, what? And he stood up on the table, took his belt off. And John was like that, don't you dare. I know what you're going to do. Don't you dare. And Craig pulled down his trousers and pants and crouched down ready to squat and to do a shite. And and John could see it starting to come out with Turtlehead. And we're like, no you don't. And pushed him. So Craig was lying on his side like a fetal position. And went like, and just decided, fuck, I'm just going to do it here. And went like, hey! And it fucking, see, because of that build up of gas, it went like, it was a kind of, that kind of one. And see, one of the clients, the one who was laughing loudest at the weather girl comment, right in his fucking mouth. Because he was like, ha 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 ha! He was laughing at the whole thing, right in his mouth. And it went in with such force that he swallowed it. It was that long, that wide. Swallowed it. It went right down. Because you've got to make a decision in that situation. It's stuck in my throat. Am I going to cough it up? Or am I just going to force it down? Down. Right in. Right down the gullet. Like a fucking pelican. Right down the gullet. And see, and you know what the good thing is? See, because he'd been holding it in the chamber for quite a while, it melted a bit. You know, like chocolate in your pocket. So it's quite slimy. So it slid down like a slug. It slid down really, really easily. Just like that. You know, like a boiled sweet. Just like that. No, right down. Like an eel. It went down like an eel. And you know what the funny thing is? Right, so that was that. Craig got sacked. And actually, it was so unbelievable that a lot of people, when they heard the story, they believed it. But they couldn't really picture it. They just thought, that's mental. I can't believe he did that. Some things are just so out there that the imagination just doesn't go that far. You know, like if you read something horrible in the fucking news, your imagination just doesn't stretch that far, and you're just like that. Christ, that sounds terrible. Your imagination won't allow it. As a preventative, as another evolutionary measure. Your brain's saying, I will not permit you to imagine something so horrific. I will not permit it. It's dangerous. And in the same sort of way, anybody got told that, sort of didn't believe it. You actually got a job, alright. Actually got another job, alright. They were just like, is that true, that? He went, aye, I don't know what came out of me, I don't know. And, you know, that was it. It's funny, see, if it's so bad, people don't believe it. If it gets to a certain level. It has a kind of resetting effect. Like, see if you said he spat in his boss, he wouldn't get a job. Because people can go like, aye, spitting. You see people doing that. You don't see people doing things like that. So it's just beyond the realms of belief. So people just go, it's a bit like being in court. If they try to do you for murder, at least this is how it works here. If they try to do you for murder, and they proved that you didn't murder them, but you maybe just, let's say, hurt them, the whole thing's chucked out. If they can't prove it, that's it. So the whole thing's out. It happened with me. No with murder. I was caught red-handed smashing in a fucking window in Shorlands. But because they didn't go for the vandalism or whatever it is, but actually went for breaking with the intent of stealing or whatever the fuck it is, because they couldn't prove that, even though I had admitted to smashing it to the police on record, because they went with the intent to break in and they got it a wee bit wrong with where I broke the window, the whole thing was chucked out. They don't just go like that. Oh, well, you did break it though, so we're going to do you for that. If they go for that and they don't get it, the whole thing tumbles down. The whole thing. And that's what happened with that. It's just so far-fetched that instead of people going like that, well, I can't quite imagine it, but it was just quite bad him interrupting the meeting anyway. That's unprofessional. The whole thing, people just go like, it's just don't imagine it. So forget about Craig. He's alright. But see that client who swallowed that shite, he shat out. Remember, you don't get, remember, there's nothing more to get. You only get a few laps at a shite. If you do a shite, and then you eat that shite, you can still get a bit more like calories and vitamins and things out of it. There is something still there. The body isn't perfect. It doesn't strip everything out and go, right, everything else is shite. What do you think it is? What do you think shite is? I could get calories for that. I could get, that's these cards. I could get calories for that. I could get something for that. There'll be something. I think. Maybe. There's something in shite that's good for you. I'm sure. If you're to take out all the stuff that makes you sick. But he, the client, he ate that shit and he shat out most of that shite. So not a lot of it was absorbed, but some of it was absorbed into him. And you can smell it. You could smell it. You could smell it. And that client went into another meeting the next day, because it takes a day. It takes 24 hours. Went into a meeting the next day to ask another company. We got this lot, we'll speak to this lot yesterday. Can you do better than this lot? And you know who was there? That Craig. Because he got sacked that day and got a job the next day. The client was like, you again? And he went like, I'm actually a born again Christian. I don't recognise anything that happened before this day. This morning, I decided to accept Jesus into my life. So whoever I was yesterday and before, I understand you feel you're talking to that person. I understand that, I sympathise. That guy's gone. I'm not a person anymore. I'm a new person. I understand it's weird. I'm still here. I still look the same. But in here, just speaking to a different person. And the client went, you farted, not once but twice, and then you shat on, well, you shat in my mouth. You're fucking vile. And Craig went, I'm vile. I'm sorry. Everybody, I didn't want to embarrass you like this, but you started it. This isn't, by the way, this isn't eye for an eye. This isn't eye for an eye, Old Testament. This is New Testament, simply justice. Hands up who thinks he has got the smell of shite coming out his pores because he ingested my shite. And by the way, I should know, it's my brand. Hands up. And everybody put their hands up. And Craig went like that. So it's you that's humming a shite. Because I don't need a shite. I haven't farted because I did my farts and shite in your mouth yesterday. At least the person I used to be did it. I'm not that person anymore. But you walked in the day stinking of shite and you don't even know it. And by the way, you didn't manage to brush it all away when you brushed your teeth this morning. Still a wee bit there. There's a wee dangleberry there. Wee pube with a wee bit of my shite right there. Look. And the client looked, and there wasn't. Craig went like, I got you. You're all over the place today. And the client went, right, I better go. I'm stinking. And Craig went, forget about it. I forgive you. Love thy enemy. If thy enemy strikes you upon it, thou'st cheek, turneth to him, thou'st otherth cheekst. And then Craig pulled down his trousers and went like that. I don't mean that cheek though. And the client went, look, see, it's it again. And he went like that. You're getting stabbed when you fucking leave here today, mate, said Craig. The end. There you go. And that's a true story. You know how it sounded like I was making all that up? 10 out of 10, thank you very much. You know how it sounded like I was making that up? That actually all happened. I was actually taking that from memory. How do I know? Because I was there. I was there. I wasn't there the first time. I was in the company that Craig moved to the second time. I was there, just sitting right next to Craig there. I didn't describe me because I just didn't want to make it all about me. And I know what happened the first time because Craig told me, because I interviewed him. I interviewed him for the job.